Hey Pantsers, specifically Kate, this is a video response to your video, so specifically you. I'm making this response because the whole education system and whatnot is very dear to me, and I thought I'd comment on it. So, I've been very lucky in that I've been in a gifted program for most of my education career. It's late. Don't call me on that one. From grade 4 to grade 8, I was in a gifted program called Horizons. In Canada, we have these government-sanctioned tests, and if you get a high enough grade, you get invited into this program, and if you go in, then it's just very good. Basically, in Horizons, we were taught to think, to excel. It was wonderful. And then high school happened. In high school, there's this sense of conformity. They give you assignments and you do them. They tell you what to do and you do it. And it's just kind of depressing after being in such a good program. For example, in high school right now, in math, they will give you worksheet after worksheet of the same idea. Whereas in Horizons, they would give you one worksheet. If you scored well on it, then you understood it, and they wouldn't make you do it over and over again because they understood that gifted kids anyways were able to retain information after that small amount of time, and it was better for us because gifted kids tend to suffer when they have to do the same thing over and over again. We're fairly high-level thinkers in Horizons, so we get bored very easily, and if they gave us the same thing to do over and over again, we just wouldn't pay attention, and we'd rush through it, and it would kill our marks. And so high school kind of sucks. Everybody thinks high school sucks, so that's not a new idea. Kate, you were specifically saying near the end of your video that you feel like you're susceptible to doing what you think people expect you to do, doing what people think you should, and although I'm not like that, grade 9 kind of broke me, and I have to be like that now for the rest of high school, because if I'm not, it'll affect the rest of my life, which is so completely wrong. The thing I really dislike about high school, and it's very difficult to fix because, especially in a high school like ours, which is so massive, there's no intimacy. The teachers give everybody the same thing and they expect the same results from everybody, and that just doesn't work. It gets them to pass tests maybe, but it's not a good way for someone to learn, and only in boarding schools, only in gifted programs, only in these elite situations, maybe even in foundations for people who have learning disabilities, would you find this form of intimacy, this personalized teaching approach. You can't box people into the same categories, you can't drag down the overachievers, and you can't force up the people who just can't do it. It's not viable, it's not feasible, and it's a shame, really. I'm not sure if that made any sense. I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. In Horizons, we had a class of 16 people for 5 years, and it was pretty much the same 16 people. And the teachers got to know us, and they knew what to expect from us, and they were personalized. One example of this is in grade 5, one of the kids in our class, he had really bad penmanship, and in English you're always supposed to write neatly and hand things in with neat writing. Well, they knew that he was intelligent and he just couldn't write neatly. That was just something he could not do. So the teacher excused it. There's no reason to mark someone down because they can't write nicely if they can write good ideas and good sentences. And it's things like that that you don't find in normal school settings. Really, I just have to grit my teeth through the rest of high school, try to get an over 90% average, get into university, things like that. But I do miss Horizons, and I miss that ability to be different and be myself and learn to that full potential. At this point, I am really just memorizing facts to pass the tests because that's how the curriculum is set. They teach you how to pass tests. In English, my teacher has explicitly said that everything we do is leading up to the diploma, and it's so wrong. Real life doesn't do tests like that. I wish they taught you how to think rather than how to know. My friends and I often have a discussion about smartness versus intelligence. Being smart is being able to retain knowledge, knowing knowledge, all of that, but being intelligent is being able to use that knowledge, and that's something that isn't taught, and it's awful because there are so many smart people in my school who know their stuff, who get good grades, but they can't do anything with it because they don't know how, and I'm being very, very negative today. On the Horizons tangent then, just to be more positive and end this on a light note, Naramon's YouTube survey had a question saying, tell us about your group of school friends. And I've realized that a lot of people in Nerdfighteria before finding the community were usually friends with the other outcasts and weren't able to find a lot of kindred spirits, so to speak, and that's why there's the internet, so we can overcome those physical barriers and find people like ourselves. And I never had to do that, thanks to Horizons. They took all the crazies, they took all the different thinkers, they took all the nerds and put them together, and I have a nerd clique. I really do. You know those cliche high school cliques with the popular girls and they all have inside jokes and they only talk to each other because only they understand each other and all that exclusiveness? That's our clique. We are very exclusive because we've known each other for 5-6 years now, and we just think the same, we've been in the same environment, so words tend to have the same connotations and we're always on the same page, and it's glorious, and I'm so lucky. And I'm gonna miss it when I graduate, I think. Now I'm being negative again. Ugh! You know what? DFTBA, I'm gonna stop before I depress everybody. Okay, it's nice to be back on the channel, and I really like this idea of video responses. Yeah.